What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Trading Academy. So in today's video, sorry, I got messy hair. I'm growing out my hair, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about, this is actually going to be a continuation to the last video I uploaded yesterday, which is going to be Fair Value Gaps Part 2. The reason why I wanted to make a Part 2 was because I wanted to mention some things that I didn't go over in the first one. So I just want to, make a continuation thing for this one. So yeah, welcome to the new video today, guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying the Academy so far. But in today's video, I want to emphasize the 50% level of these fair value gaps, okay? So if you notice here, price came up to the 50% level of the fair value gaps. Now that you guys know what a fair value gap is, you guys know what they look like, you guys went into your charts, you guys started identifying fair value gaps, which is good. The way you can get this little line, it's very subtle. If you guys see right here in my little rectangle, it's very, very subtle. You guys will see a little line at the 50%. You guys could just double click on the rectangle and you guys will get this option right here. It's called the middle line. You guys come in here, change the color, whatever you guys want to do. I usually just keep it like that. And then you guys could change the setting, right? Dash line, dotted line, etc. I have it on dotted because it's very, very subtle. I don't really like having something super like noticeable right in the middle. But the halfway point of fair value gaps is important because you usually can get a reaction there. I don't want you guys to be focusing too much on the 50% level of a fair value gap yet. It's just something to identify and it's just something to, annotate when you guys are finding fair value gaps in whatever it is, premium or discount. It's something to study, okay? Another thing is if you get body candle closures above the 50%, it often indicates that price may go above the fair value gap or at least wick above it or below it, whether you're bullish or bearish. Remember what I said in the first one. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story, right? Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. Usually when a body closes above the 50%, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it will go above it and it will wick above it. And that's when you want to wait for a candle closure. Another thing I wanted to go over with fair value gaps is making sure you wait for the body candle closures, right? We went over this exact fair value gap yesterday. And what did I say? I told you guys if a body of a candle closes below the fair value gap, then it is invalidated, okay? Especially one like this, because this is the fair value gap that sent price up. This is the fair value gap that formed after we took out these relative equal highs. So this fair value gap holds more weight than the ones down here, if that makes sense, okay? So the fair value gap that sends price to sweep liquidity, or the fair value gap that forms after we sweep liquidity, it's gonna be the one that holds the most weight, because that gap or that imbalance, this displacement, was formed through this, pushing through the liquidity. So it should hold weight. It should be valid to go higher if price wants to seek higher, if that makes sense. Okay, I wanted to go over all this with you guys. So another example here is this body closed right at the 50%, and then this one, guess what, closed below it. And look, we wick below this fair value gap. Okay, but we never close a body below the fair value gap. All right, we respect it, right? We could wick outside of it, it's perfectly fine, but we never close a full body below it. And then, we get sent higher. It respects, right? This fair value gap was formed after we swept what? This internal buy side. Okay, so this fair value gap should hold weight to go higher if the draw is in fact higher, which is up here at this external high, which in fact got hit today. Okay, so I just wanted to go over these pretty basic concepts about the fair value gap in today's episode, and then we can go over some more stuff later this week. But yeah, I just wanted to upload this quick video about fair value gaps. I want you guys to go into your chart, study what I just mentioned here in this video about the bodies closing above or below the 50%. Like this, we reacted at the 50%. Now we're pulling back into this bullish one, right? Another good example actually from today, if I show you guys this, is on the 5-minute here. We have a fair value gap right here, right? Was it on here or was it on the ES chart? No, it was here. Okay, so we have this external high, right? And again, this works on all time frames, doesn't have to be the 1 hour. But this external high of this range was swept today, okay? So look, notice how there's no fair value gaps after 9 o'clock, right? This is the 9 o'clock. There's no fair value gaps, right? Until this one here. We get displacement above the external high. We form a fair value gap. We wait for this candle to close. So we form a fair value gap, okay? So this is a good place to look for entries if you are thinking that, price is going to go higher, which it obviously does here. And again, like I said, you guys can use fair value gaps as a draw on liquidity, which this 1 hour fair value gap was the draw on liquidity today above this external high. But the point is that this fair value gap was formed after we sweep this external high. So this fair value gap that sweeps the high that forms after, we get above the liquidity, this should hold if it wants to go higher up to this 1 hour fair value gap. Okay. This should hold weight and it should hold. And obviously it does, right? We wick below it. We don't have a candle closure below it, right? We close below the 50%, then we wick below it, but then we close the body right back up in it, right? And then we make a higher high and then a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay. So that is how, this is a little more advanced lecture on fair value gaps using the 50%. And, I briefly touched on, the body candle closures on fair value gaps, but 50% is important as well. So again, just study how price moves around the 50% of a fair value gap. Don't put too much emphasis on it, but it is a good tool to have. And it's something good to mark out in your rectangles on TradingView, right? Let's just turn on this little middle line just so you guys could have it, so you guys could use it whenever, you're just studying fair value gaps. You guys could start studying like, hey, the 50%, okay, we close the body below it. Are we going to wick below it or above it if you're bullish or bearish? And yeah, study how the body candle closures, like, let me find something real quick. I briefly went over this one yesterday, right? This fair value gap here. Actually, we'll go over this one right here. We closed the body above it. We went higher, right, to take out whatever liquidity was here on the lower time frames, right? And then this one, this upper fair value gap here, we closed the body in it. We wicked above it, and then we went lower. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this very, very quick video. Maybe this was needed, maybe it wasn't. I just wanted to, go over the fair value gap one more time before we actually move on. So what I want you guys to do is just, again, study fair value gaps, study the 50% level of it, and study the body candle closures below or above them. Look at how they wick, because again, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this very quick lecture on fair value gaps. This will probably be the last video on fair value gaps. And then tomorrow I will upload a new concept. It should probably be order blocks or change in the state of delivery. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed everything. I hope everything's coming together. It's piecing together. I hope you guys are in the charts actually studying and dissecting price for what it is. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment if you guys are enjoying the series so far. But yeah, I will catch you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Peace.